Hey guys, welcome to today's podcast episode. And I've got a special guest for you today, Ben Camille, coming out of New York. And he is the founder and CEO of Travel Defend, and it's your travel insurance concierge. I'm really excited to delve into what Travel Defend is, and it's a unique perspective. And I'm happy to welcome Ben to the show. So, welcome, Ben.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. Happy to be here.
Yeah. I really love talking to entrepreneurs. And so introduce yourself, your story, and we'll dive right
Yeah.
into what it is.
I'll give you a just super quick kind of background. I used to run luxury tours for about 20 years. Okay. So when I say luxury tours, super high end, we would have families, executives come for about a week and many times one, two, three, $400,000 just for a week. Okay. So we're talking ultimate in luxury. Those events were in San Diego, California. And so I'm making this very quick, but COVID came, really destroyed our business in a serious, terrible way.
Mm.
Coming out of COVID, it was really 3 years in California until we can run our event again.
Mm.
I knew that nobody was going to book without travel insurance, right? People were very nervous. What if something happens and there's mega bucks on the line here? So I wasn't the type of operator to do what everyone else does, right? What does everyone else do in the industry? They say, okay, here's a link, go to Allianz or AIG, go buy whatever the hell they have and come to my program. That's not me. Okay. My attitude was if I'm selling you something, I have to vet it, make sure it's great. And for the weirdest reason, no reason, honestly, I became obsessed with travel insurance, which is super weird. Nobody's obsessed with travel insurance in the whole world except for me. And I started delving into this whole world, trying to understand which companies will actually pay you in real life. What are the differences in the policies? And I went down this rabbit hole and I started going to all the industry events. I started meeting the CEOs of all these companies. And I started to realize over time, wow, there are fantastic companies and there are really terrible companies here. Some that are easy to pay are fantastic, some that you could kill yourself trying to get paid. And really understanding, once you start reading the policy, you understand, oh, that's where they're screwing you. Oh, that's what they removed so that you don't get paid. And I started to learn it. And then I started selling it to my own clients. I realized that, you know what? I have many other tour companies in the same niche that I'm in. I started a side company at the time called Travel Defend. I went to all these other companies, said, look, you guys are in the same boat. You have thousands of clients coming. Everyone is certainly at that time very nervous about travel insurance. I said, send all your people to us. We'll kick you back commission and we're going to take care of the people. Now, we don't add any cost to the clients. We don't add a penny to the cost. We get a huge commission from the insurance companies because, especially now, we're doing such volume here. And so really it's a win for everyone because we don't just sell this to a client. We guide them on what's good for them. We do the paperwork for them. And then most importantly, really the most important part, we get them paid in real life. Okay. That's a big part of the battle here. And we never add any cost. We have a WhatsApp that's monitored 24 hours a day. Anyone has an issue, let's say you're in Spain, you break your leg, you need help. That's fine. Our team is with you. We'll help you. And then I realized that's better than tour company. Stopped doing the tours after almost 20 years. And now for the last 3.5 years, we do Travel Defend and we've grown it to millions and millions of dollars, which is a big blessing.
Really interesting. And the importance of insurance was really harped upon after 2020, especially with climate and COVID. And for the travelers who are
Yeah.
more familiar, what are some of the biggest challenge in the travel insurance industry? What should they be aware of, and what can Travel Defend do?
Right. What most people don't realize is what does travel insurance even do? Well, they have no clue, right? So we can look at it before your trip and then on your trip. So before your trip, besides give you your money back, what could they do for you? Give you a hug, give you a kiss. What are they going to do for you? So before the trip, it's called trip cancellation. They'll give you your money back. Let's say grandma's sick, you can't go, whatever. Yeah, it has to be a covered reason. But again, that's why we talk to the people, figure out what's good for them. What are their issues? Once they're on their trip, there's all these in-trip benefits, medical coverage, trip interruption, trip delay, baggage loss. I'm probably America's foremost expert at travel insurance at this point. I've dealt with every situation that you possibly could. Understand why, because I know this is a business show. Why is our business so special? It's important you understand why. Right now, there's about $12 billion spent every year on travel insurance. If all of those $12 billion knew about us, they would always use us, right? Why would they not use us? When you buy direct, let's say you look online, you see a policy from Allianz or whatever, that's just the biggest one in America, okay? And you say, fine, I'm going to buy a policy. Fine. You bought a policy, let's say it costs you $500. We would sell you the same policy for the same $500. Don't add a penny. But what are you now to these companies? You're faceless nothing, okay? You're an irrelevance. You're one in a bucket of millions. You're nothing. Try to get someone real on the phone. You're going to speak to someone in India, okay? With us, we have our own dedicated claims analysts at Allianz. Meaning I have people who work at Allianz on Allianz's payroll dedicated just to our clients, okay? And again, we add zero cost to you. We're only here to help you. And so the trajectory of our growth has been massive. And the ability for us to become as big as any of these travel insurance companies is there because we're offering a service that no one else offers. And we're the only brokerage that exists in America.
And interesting. What's your business model? Like, how do you partner and how do you get paid? How do you pay out claims? All of that.
Sure. So there's many growth initiatives that we have, okay? So we go to tour operators, travel agents. There's over 50,000 travel agents in America, right? Let's say most of them let's make a blanket statement. Let's say most of them get 20% commission, right? I get a lot more than that. I'm not going to say how much I get, but I get a lot more. Why do I get more? Because I'm doing crazy volume here, okay? I can go to any travel agent in America and I can say, look, I will give you more commission than you currently get, okay? Our team here, we will take care of your client from start to finish and we'll help them with claim and pay you more than you already have. Alex Hormozy has a book called $100 Million Offers, right? It's all about offers. Our offer is the best offer that exists in travel insurance. So if anyone hears our offer, of course they want to partner with us. You think they want to deal with their client's issues, deal with their client's claim and get paid less? Of course not. They want to work with us. So that's one aspect. We go to tour operators, travel agents, and that's a slam dunk home run offer, okay? Secondly is social media, Google, Facebook, all this kind of Instagram, all these kind of ads. We've actually seen quite a bit of success from that because we have a message. What is Allianz? I keep using them, but they're just the most famous. That's why I use them. But what is Allianz's message on Facebook, let's say? Because they all do ads, right? All these companies do ads. What's their message? Their message is protection. You have a woman with a dog standing next to a lake looking out into the horizon. She goes, protection. That's not a message, but that's all they can do. And so our message is the message I've told you, which is unique because Allianz is fighting with AIG, is fighting with Travel Insured, is fighting with Trawick. They all fight with each other. I'm above all of them, okay? And so when we go out to market with our messaging and people hear the message, they understand the message, the excitement for the end user is huge. They're like, oh my gosh, I have a big expensive trip coming up. I better call these guys. So that's another growth initiative. Trade shows has been a great initiative for us. So there's a lot in terms of growth potential. In terms of commission, let's say a policy costs $1,000 to you on your own. It will cost the same $1,000 with us, but the insurance company on the back end will give us a commission. So to you as the client, it makes no difference. And in terms of paying claims, the best part, we don't pay the claim. We're not paying the claim. Insurance company pays the claim. So when we have money coming in, we know what we're making. It's very secure business. We'll make sure our clients get paid, even though we're not paying it, because we're bringing these companies millions of dollars, so they take care of us in a great way. But that's the basic gist of the business model.
Yeah, really. So it's like you're putting yourself in position to really offer valuable service. And so that's really fascinating. So one thing I have a question about is, and the audience may have is, we recently flights to Venezuela or flights to Israel canceled. How do you adapt your business model for pandemic or new requirements or wars and all of these things?
Yeah, no, it's a good question. On October 7th in Israel, you may be aware, there was they called it a terrorist incident, okay? Many policies in America did not pay for that situation. At that time, just so you know, on October 7th, just at that one time, we had over 4,000 clients just in Israel at that one time, okay? Gives you a sense for the volume, the levels that we do here. We had them with the right companies. All the companies we had them with, all of them, characterize it as terrorist incident, which means that now, as a plan holder, you have the right for flights home, and they even paid for some private jets home for people. Any hospital bills would be paid. Any hotel stays extra would be paid. Allianz, for example, I only keep using them because we've been using them from the beginning. They paid everyone zero, okay? Because they called it an act of war and they paid everyone zero. Now, how did we know for all of our Israel clients that they shouldn't have an Allianz policy, right? It's because I already knew in advance that if something happens, they are going to do that because I know everything there is to know about travel insurance. So, yes, this is a world to know. It's a very deep world to know. On your own, anyone that has a life besides you're obsessed with travel insurance, you're not going to know. And it is very dangerous to buy on your own because millions of people got screwed, basically. Yeah, the reason that we know what's good for people is because this is all we do here. And we make it our business to talk to our contacts on a consistent basis, say, how about Ukraine? What about Russia? What if someone travels to, like, we know based on different companies, what are their vibes, what are their feelings, and new things come down the pike where all of a sudden they stop covering Ukraine or they stop covering Israel. We want to know that in advance because we don't want to have any of our clients stuck in any bad way. Yeah, that's the basic. It's a lot of work. That's how we keep our ear to the ground, so to speak.
One thing is, let's say these unfortunate events happen, is the process for clients who need to file a claim, is that different than traditional means, or is it more efficient, less paperwork,
Yeah.
faster?
Yeah, it's very different. On your own, you still have to do the claim properly, but on your own, in normal cases, claims can take 4 months to 6 months to 8 months to a year. Many companies, what they like to do, I call it kicking the ball down the field. They like to, from the beginning, you're not really sure what you need to provide. Okay. They love to do that. They love to keep you in the dark. So you don't actually know. You're just like assuming my mom was sick. Sorry, my mom was sick. I couldn't go on my trip. They're probably going to need this. They're probably going to need that. And what happens? You submit it. 3 months later, they come back to you and they say, actually, Chris, we need A, B, C, and D from you. And you're like, okay. And then you do send A, B, C, and D. And then they come back and say, we need E, F, and G also. And you're like, okay. And now before this is going 9 months. Okay. This is commonplace when you're doing this on your own. And many other things can happen. Also, another thing that happens on your own is that many people will file the wrong claim. So I'm not going to go super deep into it, but if you file a trip interruption claim, but your real claim is trip delay, you don't even know the difference, what trip and trip delay is. But you just pick one because you don't know what you're doing. They will deny your claim. And they're right. It wasn't trip delay, it was trip interruption. That's why your claim makes no sense. But nobody helped you. So how do you know? So that's common. We have our own claim assistance team here, and we hold your hand from start to finish. We start your claim for you. We get you clarity on what you need to provide. And then because we have our own dedicated claims analysts at the actual company who are dedicated just to our people, we get you dealt with very quickly. Now, oftentimes there are questions because claims can be complicated. Sometimes there's a lot going on. We will facilitate the claims analyst at the company calling you directly because I'm a big believer in real communication. I hate emails, hate it. I like talking to people, and I just think that's the best way. So when we can get a claims analyst at a travel insurance company to actually call you directly and say, Chris, it's Ben from the company. Here's where we're confused. Here's where we're stuck. I find that 99% of the time, the claim gets paid literally like the next day. And nobody at any travel insurance company in the claims department is ever going to call you, ever, without us. That's a fact, okay? So yeah, there's a lot here with claims. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to do this company. It's because I love helping people. I really do. That's why I love doing tour company also. And when I see value and I see that we can really help people, I'm attracted to that.
Yeah. Really interesting how you started on this industry and saw the problems. For actually, a lot of the world is now traveling more frequently, and also not just
Yeah.
domestically, but internationally. So the ones that are traveling a lot and across different borders, what should they keep in mind?
I would say just in general, the number one thing to keep in mind, if you're not going to buy with us and you're doing this on your own, you need to get primary coverage and not secondary coverage. Okay. I don't know how deep you want to get into all this stuff, but primary coverage means from step one, the insurance company is saying it's their obligation to pay you, which is what you think you're buying when you buy travel insurance. You think they're just going to pay you. Many policies are called secondary coverage. Secondary coverage means insurance company will always point the finger elsewhere. Say maybe they're more responsible than us to pay you. If you have a policy like that, you're going to have a hard time getting paid. And that's what many policies are in America. So I'm getting over a cold, so I apologize. Yeah, so that's what I would say. If you do nothing else, make sure you have primary coverage because that's the best way of making sure that you're actually in good driver's seat position, at least to begin.
Yeah, really interesting. Because when I rent a car and then I put it on my American Express, it's actually secondary. So they which is a good thing to know. So, what trends do you see in the travel insurance industry, especially with now hurricane and earthquakes, and how is Travel Defend preparing for those?
What made me nervous in the beginning is I thought to myself that maybe this is a COVID thing. Maybe travel insurance is only super attractive when I started the business because everyone was freaked out about coming out of COVID. But thankfully, thank God, really, it hasn't been an issue. Our business is only growing year to year. It's nothing to do with COVID. COVID is not on anyone's mind anymore, and people are still buying travel insurance in an extremely fast way. So I think the industry is growing tremendously overall. I know that we're growing tremendously. One of the things that I am working on is creating, which I don't have yet, but creating a few custom policies because I already know that no policy is perfect except for the one that I'm creating because I already know all the ins and outs. And so I don't have that ready yet. It takes about a year to create your own policy properly, and everything I want is very detailed. And so we're working with a number of different underwriters for that.
Yeah. I know we have a few minutes. So what's your vision for the future of Travel Defend? Where do you see the company going the next 5 to 10 years in terms of growth and innovation?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think it's important not to stop your own dreams
Mm.
because if I say to build this to $100 million company, we're probably at, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 right now. So you say to yourself, okay, it sounds like a lofty goal, but what if I say $1 billion company? Trying not to really focus on these type of numbers. I'm trying to. I used to be a baseball player. I was a Division I baseball player. I was a pitcher coming out of high school, and the way that I feel I succeeded there was whether you strike someone out or whether you hit and the guy hits a home run off you, you have to still deal with the next hitter, right? And you can't allow yourself to be thinking in the past or anything like that. So I have isolated the growth initiatives. I'm trying to just put one step in front of the other and grow and just, I don't know, see where we go because there's many travel insurance companies that are billion-dollar companies in America, many of them. And I don't see why they're not, I mean, we're not competing with them. We sell their products. In life insurance, which is interesting, in life insurance or in car insurance or in health insurance, you have a million of these schmoes running around trying to sell you this stuff. But in travel insurance, there's only us. There's nobody else. Why that is, I don't know. But the point is, it's a wide open landscape for this, for us. And so it's exciting. I don't know. Let's see what happens. Maybe I'll come on in 3 years. We'll see where we're at.
You might be a publicly traded company and
Maybe.
a ticker. And yeah, how can people find out more about Travel Defend, follow you, your work, reach out to you, and so on?
So traveldefend.com is one way. Our phone number is 1-800-578-2871. That's another great way. We have a whole team all throughout the country. And I guess those are the two best ways. We also have a WhatsApp, which is the same as that 1-800-578-2871. And WhatsApp our team 24 hours a day, and we'll be available there. And it was interesting why I felt that this was meant to be. I don't know if you've bought a website. Have you ever bought a website in the last few years?
I know I have my own website and have to pay annual fee to have hosted and all that, but I never
Right.
bought a website. Yeah.
Like one of the biggest companies in America is called AIG Travel Guard. Okay. Travelguard.com. That's like Allianz, AIG. These are the biggest companies in America. So I was thinking along those lines, travelguard.com. I look up for different iterations of that and I see traveldefend.com. Okay. Nowadays, anyone listening is going to know this. Anything that even is is any words is like $50,000. You cannot get a website unless it's travel hyphen dot defend dot biz or something. To get traveldefend.com in one thing literally is impossible. And it popped up and it was a penny. And I said, that is a sign from above because that's not possible. Seriously, it's crazy. So we got it and we've been rolling since then.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Really love that story. And for all the audience, let's thank Ben for coming on and really an interesting conversation. And be sure to give his socials a like and follow. Check out Travel Defense, see if it meets your needs and work with them. And thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me, man.